another Sunday. It's another Sunday night. So, here's another little ASMR video. I think tonight I'll read some Wikipedia. You guys seem to like it when I do that. I have 2 articles pulled up. Now, if you've been around for a while or have catched some of the VODs or the streams, you'll know I talk about a card game, a dead card game called MetaZoo. It's a card game about cryptids and such. I like learning about them. I know they're not real, but they're still fun to read and learn about. So I have 2 articles pulled up for you guys today. I have the article, a Wikipedia article for Dover Demon, and then the article for Northshore Monster pulled up, which I had never heard of. It does not have a MetaZoo card. But yeah, so we'll start with the Dover Demon, and then read the North Shore Monster, and that'll be the menu, and then maybe sprinkle in a couple kisses here and there. Okay, but I hope you're all are having a good weekend, or on a good weekend, and I hope you all get some good rest, some good sleep. Alright, here we go. This is the article for the Dover Demon on Wikipedia. The Dover Demon is a creature reportedly sighted on April 22nd to 21st to 22nd, 1977 in Dover, Massachusetts, a town about 15 miles or 24 kilometers southwest of downtown Boston. Sightings. 17-year-old William Bill Bartlett claimed that while driving on April 21st, 1977, he saw a creature about 4 feet tall with glowing orange eyes and no nose or mouth and a watermelon-shaped head on top of a broken stone wall on Farm Street in Dover, Massachusetts. 15-year-old John Baxter reported seeing a similar creature on Miller Hill Road the same evening. Another 15-year-old Abby Brabham claimed to have seen the creature the following night on Springdale Avenue. The teenagers all drew sketches of the alleged creature. Bartlett wrote on his sketch, quote, "I, Bill Bartlett, swear on a stack of Bibles that I saw this creature," close quote. According to a local news report, quote, "The locations of the sightings plotted on a map lay in a straight line over 2 miles, or 3.2 kilometers, close quote. These sightings were not made public until the first half of May. At that time, a local investigator of unexplained phenomenon noted similarities to creatures in the Kelly Hopkinsville encounter of 1955, even though none of the witnesses reported seeing a UFO. The sightings were also investigated by the Mutual UFO Network and associated groups. Possible explanations. It has been suggested that the creature may have been a foal or moose calf. Skeptic Joe Nickel believes the creature was likely a snowy owl based on size and plumage, which would have reflected on the yellow headlights of older cars as the peach color described by Bartlett. In addition, the long spindly arms and fingers of the supposed creature could be the partially opened wings of the splayed feathers at the wingtips of a snowy owl. Police told the Associated Press that creatures reported by teenagers, quote, were probably nothing more than a school vacation hoax, close quote. Skeptic Ben Radford has suggested the sighting may have been influenced by the pop culture of the time, as 1977 was the year Star Wars and Close Encounters of the Third Kind were released. In popular culture, in 2009, the Dover Demon was featured in an episode of the American horror television series Lost Tapes, which aired on Animal Planet. appears as a character in the American comic book series Proof, which features various other creatures. In the comic, it is a creature able to see into the future. It appears in another similar comic book series called The Parappanauts. The Dover Demon also made a brief appearance in the comic books The Proud, Ghoul's Night Out, and Hack Slash Entry Wound. A Dover Demon also appears in the webcomic Gunner Greg Gort. The manga and the anime series Dandadan features an alien character called a Dover Demon. Its appearance is significantly different from the original sightings, being a bipedal crustacean-like alien with the ability to transform into a stronger form resembling a mantis shrimp. Notes. One proposed explanation of the aforementioned Kelly Hopkinsville encounter is a great horned owl. And that's the article about the Dover Demon. Alright, we'll move on to the Northshore Monster. The Northshore Monster, sometimes referred to as Old Briny, reportedly inhabits the Great Salt Lake in Utah. Descriptions of the monster vary, but it's most commonly described as having a crocodile-like body and the head of a horse. Sightings. The most well-known sighting occurred on July 8, 1877, when J.H. McNeil and other workers at the Barnes Indigo Salt Works near Monument Point on the lake's northern shore claimed to have encountered a large creature with a crocodile-like body and the head of a horse. McNeil estimated the creature to be about 75 feet long. The creature reportedly let out a loud bellow as it approached the shore, prompting the men to flee into the nearby mountains, where they hid overnight. The next morning, they found large overturned boulders and disturbed ground along the shoreline. McNeil signed an affidavit attesting to the sighting, and the story was published in the Corin Record and later in the Salt Lake Herald Republican and the Deseret News. However, the Deseret News suggested that the report should be taken, quote, with a few grains of salt, close quote. Very funny. Some skeptics proposed that the monster may have been a buffalo in the lake, although the reported length of 75 feet does not align with this explanation. When the Utah Lake Monster, different from both the Bear Lake Monster and North Shore Monster, was spotted shortly after the Monument Point account, the current record claimed that this was likely the same monster as seen at Monument Point, but such a connection is unlikely. Alternate monsters of the Great Salt Lake. Various monsters have been reported to live within the Great Salt Lake, of which the North Shore Monster, as described in the 1877 Monument Point account, is only one. The North Shore Monster account is sometimes conflated with these other monsters. Here's a brief list of other Salt Lake monsters. Around 30 years prior to McNeil's encounter, a man identified as Brother Bainbridge claimed to have seen a creature with a dolphin-like body in the lake near Antelope Island. Another official of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, referred to as Brother Kimball, reported seeing a porpoise in the lake on April 19, 1848. These sightings led to Antelope Island initially being named Porpoise Island. Some theories suggest that the men may have mistaken large carp swimming in less salty waters of Farmington Bay for these creatures. In 1903, a story circulated about a salt dragon seen near Stansbury Island by two hunters named Matten Gilbury and John Berry. They described being chased by a large winged creature that, quote, was quote, equally at home in the air, on the beach, or submerged in the briny waters of Salt Lake, close quote. They also mentioned that its swimming in the lake lake had led to a thick crust of salt over its armored skin, which reflected bullets fired from their muskets. This story is still recounted by state park rangers in the modern day. That's kind of cool. Additional entry: early reports linked to the monster to native Ute legends of water babies, mystical beings said to inhabit lakes and lure unsuspecting victims into the water. Some settlers in the 1860s claimed the water babies were manifestations of the Northshore Monster itself. Sorry about the sniffles. In 1976, a short independent horror film titled Attack of the Giant Brine Shrimp was produced by Salt Lake local Mike Cassidy. The film depicts a fictional account of a giant mutated brine shrimp being born from the polluted waters of the lake. It causes the fire of the salt air, terrorizes locals at a circus, and attempts to destroy the Salt Lake Temple. The creature in the film has become a cryptid of its own, referred to local enthusiasts as Old Briny or the Great Brine Shrimp. Although gaining some popularity, it is likely that this cryptid is entirely based on Cassidy's film Monster. Environmental factors. The Great Salt Lake salinity fluctuates between 3.5 and 8 times that of the ocean, depending on location and water levels, and has a maximum depth of 33 feet. These extreme conditions limit the types of life that can thrive in the lake, with only a few species, such as brine shrimp and brine flies, found in the main lake. Carp and other fish species are able to survive in the freshwater wetlands and tributaries surrounding the lake. Despite the changing environment, legends about large creatures inhabiting the lake persist. These tales may have been influenced by sightings of unusual phenomena or by misunderstandings of natural occurrences in the lake's unique ecosystem. One speculative theory suggests that shifts in the lake's salinity levels and water temperature may influence sightings of unusual phenomena. Periodic fluctuations in salinity can create mirage-like optical effects on the water's surface, potentially contributing to monster lore. And that's all there is. That's all she wrote. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all have a lovely rest of your evening. Sleep well, rest well. I love you all very much. Thank you for listening. Good night. Hope you all have a good week. Stay safe, stay warm. It is getting a little warmer, but stay warm.